Yeah.
But Spider-Man, your thoughts?
Yeah, so Brand New Day, it's my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And for the main reason is I do have a gripe with like the villain they chose in the movie being I don't really want to spoil anything on this video. I mean, if we do, we'll put up a spoiler warning. But before I
Yeah.
get into stuff like that, this
Oh,
this movie just feels the most like I've heard this talked about from other YouTubers, but it's comic book Marvel Spider-Man finally brought to life on the big
yeah.
screen. It's like the closest I think we've gotten to this is probably the Tobey Maguire movies. I mean, I guess the closest would be the Into the Spider-Verse films being like
Yeah.
the true comic book interpretation. But yeah, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies definitely I think had that feel. But this is the first time like with that montage at the beginning, him just going up against villains like Tombstone, Scorpion, Tarantula, Boomerang, those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and those are ripped straight like those are pages from the Spider-Man comics brought to life and it felt like they were really utilizing this Marvel Cinematic Universe, not for like the hey fan service, like look at this shiny character over here, but like it actually makes sense. Like Peter goes to talk to a specific hero for help, and
Yeah.
it makes total sense why he would talk to this character in the trailer. Bruce Banner is already there, and I think before the movie came out, they were actually going to make that the Lizard, but I don't think they wanted to retread any water from previous Spider-Man movies. And I
Yeah.
kind of would have liked it if he sought out Dr. Connor's help, but that version of Dr. Connors wouldn't have been established, and the Hulk's already been established in the MCU. So maybe for time purposes, just trying to speed the story along, I could see why they did that.
Yeah. I
But
mean, you could argue that, because he knew a Dr. Kirk Connors from
sure,
earlier in
yeah,
the
maybe he
film,
would
that
have
he would
sought
maybe
one
think
out in his universe.
to to look for his universe's variant.
Yeah, sure. But then do we want to also just jump into that story of he's also becoming the lizard and all this stuff? And that's almost a whole other movie on its own, which is the Amazing Spider-Man anyway. So
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I
yeah.
think you could kind of do like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies do, where you have Kirk Connors and you just set him
They
up
were
as a
they were
as a
leading to that,
benign
yeah.
character.
Hmm.
I mean, same thing with what he was going to do with his version of Mysterio. I mean, he's in all
Yeah.
three movies.
Right. And it was gonna be revealed that Bruce Campbell was Mysterio in Spider-Man 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think it would have been cool. Sorry to cut you off there.
no, you're good. I think there was a little bit of delay in the video. I was just gonna say, like as speaking of Mysterio, I think Mysterio in the MCU is still alive. I don't think they're
Sure.
gonna throw away his character, especially his portrayal. I think was really good.
I thought was very good. I thought for the longest time Mysterio was going to show up in No Way Home at some point, and then that would finish out the original Sinister Six roster. Because the original Sinister Six roster was those five villains plus Mysterio. An argument could be made that Mysterio was that sixth member anyway, because Spider-Man's identity was outed, and that's why the movie happened the way it did. So
Yeah.
yeah, you could say it's like, well, I mean, the team is there anyway, but yeah.
You know what was a really, now that I'm thinking about it with No Way Home, what's a missed opportunity. And
Hmm.
I think it was better for the film that they didn't do this, but I kind of would have loved to have seen them bring in Toby's Harry Osborn,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
he kind of got redeemed as he died
Yeah.
in the third film. It would have been
Uh,
interesting to see him revived.
It would have been interesting. I know why they didn't do that because James Franco has had some stuff going on with his personal life that I
Yeah.
think they're just trying to dodge and be like, well, the character died. We don't need to. Which I mean, the
Narratively,
villain
though, it could
died
have been
too, but
really interesting
yeah,
to
yeah,
see.
I totally agree. Had that stuff with his personal life not happened, I would have been all for it.
Yeah.
But I can totally see why they've kind of skirted away from that character. But yeah, I mean,
But
it would have made sense. Thematically, would have been kind of cool to see. I mean, it was nice at the end of Spider-Man 3 to see the two of them team up.
yeah.
Um, so I hope to see something like that, maybe with I don't know if Ned's going to end up turning to the Hobgoblin at some point if they're still setting stuff like that up. Because I kind of thought with Brand New Day, and I'll still try to avoid spoilers, but I thought it was going to be that Ned would later find out that Peter was Peter,
Hmm.
remember the history they had, but then be angry that he didn't tell him, and maybe that would kind of lead him down a villainous path. And
That
I'm
that
not
was
so
my
sure if,
prediction too.
yeah, I'm not so sure if that's actually what they're doing after having seen the film. If that's, I don't really think that's the path they're going down with that character. I mean, time will tell. Maybe Spider-Man 5 will go into that, but I think they've got other stories in the MCU with that Spider-Man that they want to tell.
Yeah.
I could easily see Miles Morales coming probably the next two films, possibly. I mean, Aaron Davis is already in the MCU, so the fact that the Prowler's already been semi-established in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I
Um,
I think the fans would like to see Ned become the Hobgoblin at some
yeah,
point.
I think it'd be cool. It
And
would be that like there would be that relationship with
yeah,
Spider-Man too, so there would have that weight of that history between the two of them. Yeah.
yeah. And then two, before we get Miles Morales, we have to see the Prowler suited up,
Oh,
doing
sure.
crimes, like that sort of a thing
Yeah,
first.
and it doesn't count the cameo that Donald
Yeah.
Glover had in Across the Spider-Verse. That doesn't count. It's
Yeah, no,
like,
it doesn't
yeah.
count at all.
I mean, it's
Um,
cool. I'm glad they did that,
it's
but
yeah,
it
it's
doesn't count.
cool, but
Yeah.
and then honestly, like I love the Miles Morales character. No hate
I
towards
do
the
too.
Miles Morales character
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I would rather us get Miles at a much later stage in Peter Parker's story,
Yeah. And I think it
where
does
he's
help
kind of
that.
coming to a point of retirement, because then we
Sure.
still have
Yeah.
all these Spider-Man stories to happen with a young Spider-Man, and you can
Yeah.
still have Peter in the background as a mentor, but this
Hmm.
is like after he's hung up the mask, so to speak. Something I was going to say about why I think some fans are really excited and kind of in a rush for Miles Morales to arrive
Hmm.
is dopamine.
Sure. Yeah.
It excites them to see a new character introduced and a character they love and all that stuff. Audiences
Right.
have lost patience for things to take their time and have their own arcs and develop.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants everything immediately. I mean, it's a TikTok culture.
Hmm.
And that's one of the reasons that honestly, that's the main reason I want Peter Parker to have his own full run before
Right.
we
Yeah.
ever even get Miles. And then for
Well,
Miles to have his own full run.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is really, in my opinion, is like Brand New Day is the first time we've gotten like the true
Yeah.
comic book Spider-Man. Like the Home trilogy was the origin story. That wasn't even like he didn't really become like the real Spider-Man, in my opinion, until the end of No Way Home.
Yeah.
It's the first movie where he actually gets to be Spider-Man. So yeah, I hope that I want at least three more movies with him like this before
Yeah.
we jump to that next phase. I mean, I want to see him finally meet the Kingpin from
Oh yeah.
the Daredevil series. And I mean, for a while they were having conversations about whether or not Kingpin could be used in the films. Like he could be on the TV
Mm-hmm.
side, but live action Kingpin can be used in the films. And Kevin Feige recently said that those contract issues actually aren't as complicated as most of us think they are. So hopefully that means there's a sign of maybe the next Spider-Man movie you could set something up with
Yeah.
him in the movie, and then have like it's pretty clear to me they're going to have this continued thing with the MCU Spider-Man that he's always going to team up with some other hero from the MCU. But they were willing to do it with the Punisher, so now here's a chance to bring Daredevil actually back into it because he actually had a cameo in No Way Home. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they could team up, and I would love the Punisher to actually be a continued primary supporting character. I think through the Spider-Man movies because I loved their relationship in
Yeah. No,
Day.
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
And like honestly, like a part of me is kind of tired of seeing all these other Marvel characters in these Spider-Man movies. Like we barely got the Scorpion in Brand New Day, and I was
yeah,
excited for
I dig.
Scorpion.
I was too, and yeah, that's kind of one of my complaints too. Is I would have loved to him, and this is kind of a spoiler, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean, he was brainwashed for half of his appearance in this
Yeah.
movie, so he wasn't even. It's like Hawkeye in the Avengers, so we didn't get the true like Scorpion in this for like maybe 3 minutes. We got the real Scorpion.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would like to see
all the
more
way back
of
in Homecoming. Yeah,
yeah, I'd like to see more of him.
and I think we
Like
will. I mean, he's still alive, so
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean
yeah,
they're saving him for stuff later. The actor even confirmed that, they've got more
yeah,
cooking for his character.
yeah.
But
I
like
hope
I
they're leaning
kind of want
towards like a Venom.
An MCU set Spider-Man film
Mhm.
that other than like stuff in the background, TV clips, newspapers, whatever, the Avengers Tower in the background, sure.
Sure.
You get just Peter Parker and
Hmm.
the Spider-Man characters just set
Sure.
in that universe.
Yeah.
Because you don't have, because right now every Spider-Man movie is a crossover movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
And, and maybe that's why they do as well as the Avengers films did. But
maybe.
I think Peter is the real draw. And I think if you just
Oh
focus
yeah.
on fleshing out Peter's lore,
Hmm.
you establish a new Oscorp. And then, because
Sure. Yeah.
Oscorp didn't exist before, when he hears it pop up, he
Hmm.
maybe could go and investigate it, and that could lead
Right.
into a whole arc, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a theory that MJ is actually going to be maybe working for
Yeah.
this like Oscorp startup company in the next movie. So I would definitely like to see that. Yeah, I definitely agree that Spider-Man can definitely stand on his own. I mean, that's why I was going to see the movie in the first place. It wasn't because it was a Punisher movie or a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
So it's because it was a Spider-Man movie. But I think this is the best use of those supporting MCU characters in a Spider-Man movie with
Yeah,
Tom
so
Holland's
far.
character because it does feel like that New York Marvel Comics Spider-Man because he's going to run into people like the Punisher, the
Yeah.
Hulk teaching at Empire State University where he went to school. I mean, that makes complete sense. I mean, I said no spoilers. I'll just go ahead and jump to this because I think the whole internet knows already. Yelena's in this movie for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, the new Avengers are headquartered in New York, so it makes total sense why he would go to her for information.
Thanks so much for checking out that clip from our podcast, The Assembly Cut. Always be sure to tune in and check those out, either here on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Before you go, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified when new videos, new clips go live on this channel. When you do that, it always helps us out and we greatly appreciate it. Go down in the comment section and let us know what you thought of the topic we discussed here today. Hope you all have an awesome and a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.